Hi, I'm Alexander from René of Paris. Today I'm going to do some styling with you, and I'm going to style this amazing wig. This is Kirby, and yep, Kirby is in the Orchid Collection. She is amazing. She's heat friendly to start with, which I love heat friendly wigs. She's got a load of amazing layers. Look at these amazing layers with these great sideward bangs, so really workable. And this great curl pattern, you know, fantastic curl patterns. I was asked what I was going to do today and how I was going to work with Kirby's, and I'll be honest, I said I don't know. I was like, I don't really know. I kind of want to be a bit organic with it, you know. So I'll show you how it looks, a little bit brushed out. And what you can do, ladies and gentlemen, with your own wigs is you can always turn your head upside down or turn it to the side like this. See, so you're getting the brush all the way through. So you see, by tilting that, it almost sections the hair off for me, which works really nicely. I mean, how good does that look? Kirby just actually, as she is just brushed out, I think is a really wonderful style. But she looks amazing out the box, you know, in a more formed curl. What do we think to that? Brushed out and out the box. I mean, I think that is beautiful. Beautiful. So I've got this wonderful little styling brush. I'm just going to take a light section. And when I say a light section, that means a small section. So I say light, meaning light in weight. So something that's not too heavy. Because, you know, you may have heard the phrase in life, less is more. Well, I mean, the same is with hair as well sometimes, you know. If you've ever worked on set with wigs, you know, which I have, I've been very fortunate to work on various shows. You know, you might actually, you know, say for instance Game of Thrones, you know, you might do something where there's lots more sections, and there are a lot more plan of braids and more intricate styles. You know, if you were on something that was a little bit more fashion forward, not so much of a period drama, a lot of these hair styles are a little bit softer. So we're kind of doing somewhere in between, you know, something that's a little bit from something too soft to something that can be worn as a day-to-day hair up. But we do want to use some interesting techniques and some new techniques which is going to make your hairstyle stand alone. I have put a first ponytail in. First off, what I'm going to do, make a little pocket in here. Okay, he says make a little pocket and then push that hair through the pocket. Okay, make sure we don't get too much mess from underneath. What I want to do is create some texture like so. See? So we get nice bit of texture. Using the tail from the brush and from the comb, like so. Okay, and so I'm coming round. Quite gentle work, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not over pushing or over stressing the hair. I'm just being very gentle. And the beauty of this is if I was doing an up style on somebody's bio hair within the salon, what I would probably do is have them in ahead of time to have their hair curled or to have the hair set, which would allow me to create this body, this bounce and this movement, which makes it so much easier to then put the hair up. But of course, I don't need to do that with Kirby's because it's, you know, it's pre-curled. So all of that work is kind of done for you, which just looks amazing. So now again, if you just lift this up, show you, just lifting that up with the pocket, look. Lifting that up with the pocket. Some of you guys out there might have much softer, smaller fingers than me. If that's the case, then great, you'll probably find doing your up style a little bit easier. If you have big, heavier fingers, then using a little comb like this really helps. Right now I have one section, look, and I have another section, but I've got a hole here, look, right? You can see that? So I made all this lovely texture for you, made that look really cool, and I made myself a hole. The second ponytail, okay, goes up here, look, and we put a clip or a grip or a bobby pin, wherever in the world you are watching. I know that it has different terminology, but let's call it a bobby pin for the sake of where I'm filming, which is in the States. So the bobby pin comes in here like this. So I've just used 3 bobby pins to secure that pony. Now watch, look at that. Guys, look, awesome. And then what that does, it hides the hole and it gives us a really nice bit of effortless body. And of course, I have another section, and yep, you're right, I'm gonna make it into another ponytail. So, just gonna take this grip, this clip, this big clip, and clip both ponytails out of the way onto the top of the head. And that way, guys, what that does is it just allows you to be able to see what you're working with. So now I can make this into a little bit of a tail, or I can incorporate it into the rest of the hair. I mean, I genuinely am really enjoying putting this hair up, and I didn't have a big plan. I just wanted to work with you guys and show you what organic work is all about with a couple of tricks. So look, if you see here, I have another pocket. So I'm going to do that. So I've used this pocket trick on every ponytail because it creates body like this, look. See that body? And I can get texture from around the side. And also, what you might have noticed is I have used very little bobby pins. I do. So look at this, ladies and gentlemen, look at this from my, and at this stage we're going to do a little bit of finishing off. I come in with my grips. So the hardest part of the work is actually done now, ladies and gentlemen, because you've got the ponies in there and those ponytails are nice and secure, which works really well. So what we're doing now is just getting the body into the style. So I'm just lifting this final section up in at the back, and I'm going in with the bobby pins. I'm just working with the small fine pins, just secure and position the final bits of hair. She looks amazing, she looks amazing, especially with, these nice sideward kind of, the bangs, the sideward bangs coming over. But like I said, Kirby is a lace front wig. So if we wanted, and you are, say for instance, you're somebody out there that you wear your hair on a night out, but you don't like your fringe on your face, that is absolutely fine. And you're not alone. There's a lot of people that are exactly the same. Look, we can kind of put that up just off the face, which looks really nice. So I'm going to do that because I've showed you both options. So I've shown you an on the face option and a off the face option. So ladies and gentlemen, here we have Kirby. She's done, she's styled, and she looks amazing. We styled this from 3 ponytails. We then put the ponytails in their own pocket and twist them back to create body. This is like a half up, half down, but we have a little train of hair coming down the back, which I think looks amazing. I showed you the fringe when it was from the middle and to the side with bangs coming in, but also showed you this option where we are just taking her, taking this off the face a little bit. She looks great, she looks really good on the fabulous Kirby. What do you think? Is this something that you've done? Is this something that you do regularly? Is it something you've not tried that you might try? Let us know. We'd love to hear your comments, so leave them below. But for me, I'm Alexander. This is René of Paris. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye.